Yo, what's up guys, it's me Jake here, and today I'm going to be talking about the comics that I started collecting inside of August. Now I know it's been a little bit, it's like halfway through September, so I'm going to include the stuff I got a little bit into September, like the first kind of half a week, because I haven't gotten much comics since then, but I did get a lot of comics in the month of August. I did actually spend a lot of money on comics, I will very much admit that, but I've been really getting into this hobby, and I really wanted to get kind of just nosedive into it because I've been really enjoying what I've been reading, and I wanted to show you guys what I've been getting in terms of comics. So let's just get straight into the comics that I picked up inside of August. Now, to start off, I want to say that I've been collecting a lot more omnibuses than comics, and I already told myself I won't be picking up paperbacks because I don't really like the looks of comic paperbacks. I like the looks of oversized hardcovers, deluxes, and omnibuses, so that's what I'm going to be collecting. So all these things are not paperback, just a warning. But first off, I have Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo's run on Batman, the first omnibus. This thing is insanely nice. I really cannot wait to get into this. I have yet to read it. This was recommended to me by my homie Manga Unboxed. Card's gonna be up there, but I really did enjoy the looks of this, and I know the second one's coming out in I think November without the slipcover. It's a very unique cover, I will admit that, and I really do like the omnibus without the slipcover. So let me just show you guys what that looks like. So this is the omnibus without the slipcover. It's a connecting omnibus art, so it looks really nice. I really do enjoy the look of this, but I know Unboxed doesn't really like this look actually, so can't really say much. But the art, from what I see, is amazing, and I cannot wait to get actually into this omnibus, as I hear it's really good, but I hear I need to read quite a bit to get into this, so I'll check up on that and I'll see where I can read this. But that's it for the Scott Snyder omnibus, and let's just get straight into the next omnibus I picked up in the month of August. Now, I want to say this is not in order of when I picked them up. I'm just going to be saying which ones I've picked up, not in order of when I picked them up, because this is definitely not the first one I picked up, but this is one of the more recent ones I picked up. That's Batman, The Rise and Fall of the Bat Family, or the Batman, I should say. I think it says the Bat Family on here, but I don't remember. But this just caught my eye, because the name and also the look of the volume looks insane. Plus, without the slipcover, it looks equally as nice. I really like this red and black look for Batman, and I think it looks so nice. I really do enjoy the look of this omnibus, and I cannot wait to get into this omnibus as well. And as you might be able to notice, I have yet to read a lot of the omnibuses I have picked up, and the reason behind that is omnibuses take a while to read. They take so long, but I will say most of my hardcovers, like the oversized hardcovers and deluxes, I have read other than two, so that will be talked about later on in the video. But talking about this, it looks really interesting. I don't know how far down in the read order this is, because I think the Robin in this one is still Tim Drake, so I don't think it's gonna be too far down, but I could be wrong. I could need to read a lot to read this, but I don't know yet. I'll look this up after the video and see, but right now don't really know where I'm gonna read this, but I'm really excited to read it because it looks really interesting, and I hear mixed things about it, like it's really good or it's pretty meh, but I never hear really people say it's bad, so hopefully I like it. So on to the next omnibus. Now, the next omnibus I'm super excited to read, and if you can't tell what that is, it's going to be a major thing that happens in DC Comics, and that's Injustice. I don't have the second omnibus, but this was for a really good price on Amazon. This was like 60 bucks on Amazon, and the look of it is amazing. I really think this is gonna be amazing, and I hear so many good things about it, so I cannot wait to read this. And without the slipcover, it looks equally as great. Let me just put that down real fast. It looks equally as great, and I cannot wait to start reading this. I hear it's a major event, but I think this is not canon. I could be wrong, but I think this is more of a separate universe kind of thing. So I cannot wait to read this. I cannot wait to get into it, and I can't wait to actually experience for myself, because I've only technically read like 1.5 omnibuses right now. I'm just collecting a bunch of these so I don't have to wait for them to come back in print in case they go out of print, because a lot of omnibuses do go out of print at one point, so I'm just trying to pick up the ones I really want before they go out of print in case they go out of print. So that's why I picked up a lot. But yeah, that's going to be Injustice Gods Among Us Omnibus 1. Next up is one that I am currently reading, and it's going to be Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run. Oh my god, I love this Green Lantern run so far. I didn't know how much I would enjoy this omnibus because I'm not a huge Green Lantern fan, so I didn't show you the rest of it before taking off the slipcover. But I'm not a huge Green Lantern fan. That's because I only watched the movie with Ryan Reynolds, and if you've watched that movie, you know why I didn't like it. But off this omnibus, it is amazing. This omnibus is probably the favorite comic I've ever actually read so far, and I'm only halfway through it, so I can't see it going down. And I just love all the Green Lanterns of Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, John Stewart, and also Hal Jordan. I think Hal is still probably my favorite. Close second would be Guy Gardner, and of course there's Kilowog, but I think Guy was probably my second favorite right now, and I think that Kyle has a chance of going up, but I think those two are pretty much solidified as my favorite 2 lanterns so far, and this omnibus has just been amazing, and I can't wait to read more by Geoff Johns because his writing style is really interesting, and I really do enjoy how he's writing this. The art varies a lot inside this omnibus, I will admit that. It does vary quite a bit, as there are very many different artists on this run, so I'm just going to say, if you're trying to get into this omnibus, just be wary of that, because that's the only downfall I think in this whole entire omnibus I have, is that the art varies, but it's not bad. It's never bad. The artist is always great. It just always varies because there's no specific artist for it, but that's just my opinion. All really good art, just kind of weird when you're going through issue by issue and you're seeing all this different art styles. It's kind of weird sometimes, but I really do enjoy it, and I really cannot wait to read more of Geoff Johns' Green Lantern, as I think it's 3 omnibuses long. Now, the next omnibus I got off Mercari, as it was very out of print, and it is still very out of print, but I got this for a pretty good deal on Mercari. It was only like, I think 90 or 100 bucks or something like that with tax, and that's Annihilation Omnibus 1. I do have more of the Annihilation run, so just stay tuned for that, but Annihilation was something I was really interested in because of my friend Unbox. He was talking to me about it, and the whole concept of Annihilation and the aftermath of Annihilation with War of Kings and the War of Kings prelude and aftermath and all that sounded super interesting. So I decided to pick up Annihilation when I saw it. Without the slipcover, it's just the cover, and it looks amazing. I really like the matte feel to this, and the spine is the same. And the back just looks insanely incredible. I really like the look of this volume. I cannot wait to get into Annihilation, as this is probably going to be my start on Marvel Comics. I will very much admit that. I don't have much Marvel inside this haul. Mainly, it's due to me only really enjoying a select few Marvel heroes. While DC, I really like their whole entire cast. But maybe when I start getting into comics, I start liking more Marvel heroes, and there, of course, is omnibuses I do want from Marvel that I don't have, like Daredevil by Frank Miller, and just way more than that, to be honest. It just blanked off my mind real quick, but there is a lot of Marvel omnibuses I do want, so just stay tuned for that in the future, and let's just get on to the next omnibus. So, like I was saying earlier about me having more of the Annihilation run, I have the one volume that is in print, and that's going to be Conquest. I don't have any of the War of the Kings trilogy yet, but I do have Conquest, and this looks insane. I hear this is also just an amazing story. I hear this is just like where it starts picking up and starts becoming one of the best Marvel stories, and these arts on the spine and the cover and the back are just amazing. If Unboxed actually makes a video, because I don't know, because he hasn't made one like a month and a half to 2 months. He got the other one, the other variant cover of Conquest. I know that, so stay tuned if he actually shows that off, because I don't even know if he's going to make a video again. But hopefully he does, because he's a really good YouTuber. And yeah, very much cannot wait to get into this, because I feel like I'm going to enjoy this a lot, as I really like all the cosmic characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy, Nova, etc., etc. So I really feel like I'm going to enjoy the crap out of this run. So yeah, that's all I have to say for Annihilation and Annihilation Conquest. On to the next run and the next omnibus. Now, the next omnibus is one of the most interested I've been in the omnibus for a while, and that's going to be a pretty old Spider-Man omnibus. And just by saying Spider-Man omnibus, you probably already know which one it is. It's Spider-Man by Roger Stern. I'm not going to take the slipcover off for this one because it's pretty basic and plain. It's just basically saying Spider-Man in black, but I will show it off for a second. It's pretty plain, but otherwise I would just take it off, but I also feel like you don't really need to. But I hear so many amazing things about this. I hear it is pretty wordy, but I do read light novels, and I do read a lot of wordy things, so I feel like I'll be fine reading this. It'll just take me a while, as it's a very big book, but I will say, cannot wait to get into the Roger Stern one. I've been very excited about it, and seeing how many issues in this makes me even more excited about it, as there's so much content in this omnibus that is just waiting for me to read. And I feel like this is probably going to be the next omnibus I actually start reading. It's either going to be this or the Annihilation run, but I cannot wait to get into either one because I love the cosmic characters and I love Spider-Man. So either way, I feel like I'm going to enjoy both runs so much, and I cannot wait to get into them. So that's all I have to say about Spider-Man by Roger Stern, and on to the next one. So, the next one's actually my second to last omnibus. It's going to be another Geoff Johns omnibus, and this one was basically purely bought because of the art, and the story I hear is great as well, and that's going to be Aquaman by Jeff Johns, and this just looks amazing. The art is fantastic, and there's actually a pretty funny story about this. Basically, it was pretty cheap on Amazon. I've been looking at it for a while. Then Manga Box, like many other mentions in this video from prior, just goes and shows me his, and he just shows me some art. And as I'm on VC with him, I go, yeah, it's been bought. So that's the whole story behind it. I just basically impulse bought this, but it looks so good. Cannot wait to get into this. And for all the DC omnibuses I read, this is probably be the next DC omnibus I read. Like I said, the next omnibus I read is probably gonna be Spider-Man by Roger Stern, sorry, or the Annihilation Conquest run. But out of DC, this is probably my next one I'm going to read, because it just looks fantastic, and I hear it's not too wordy, so I'll probably get through this one pretty fast, as it is a smaller omnibus as well. I think it's only 800 pages. The rest of these omnibuses are like almost all 1,000 pages or above, other than Annihilation Conquest. But I'm really excited to get into this, and it's going to be probably the next DC one I get into. So yeah, that's all I have to say about Aquaman, and on to the final omnibus I have to talk about for this video. Now, I did put this omnibus in my recent reading log, so if you want to watch that video, card is up there, but this omnibus I did enjoy quite a bit, and that's going to be the Long Halloween omnibus by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. And this was an amazing omnibus. It was great, I will admit it. It has standing the test of time of how much I enjoyed it, but I do think one of the oversized hardcovers I did get is more enjoyable. It's also be the same case as my Spider-Man omnibus, as there's like nothing on this cover, so I'm just going to leave the slipcover on, even though my slipcover did come in quite damaged. So it's kind of annoying to see my damaged slipcover, as you might be able to tell from there. You probably can, because I didn't actually mention this, but I got a new phone, so my camera is just so much upgraded because I went from an iPhone 8 to an iPhone 12, so my camera is probably insane right now compared to my old videos. But basically, I will say, very excited to tell you guys I love this omnibus. It's a great starter omnibus for Batman, and if you're trying to get into Batman comics, definitely read this omnibus. I feel like this was definitely a great start, as it also introduces the first Robin, which is Dick Grayson, and you see a bunch of the more detective-style works of Batman, as Batman doesn't always just have to be this action-packed hero. He is someone that's more of a detective kind of based hero that doesn't really get depicted as that in the movies, so you get to see more of that in the Long Halloween, Dark Victory, When in Rome, and Haunted Night run by Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb. So very much enjoyed this run, and I cannot wait to read more by Jeff Loeb. And I did enjoy Tim Sale's art, but it definitely was dated, so I did enjoy it, but I don't know if he made any other things, and if he did, I don't know if I would actually read them. But yeah, on to the next one I actually did get. So, the next things I'm going to talk about are my oversized hardcovers, and the first one I am going to show off is the Marvel's oversized hardcover. Now this is one of the 2 hardcovers I've yet to read. This is probably the next hardcover I am going to read, because I feel like these are going to take me like one day. As you can tell, a lot of this content isn't actually comic. A lot of it is just facts about this comic, and facts and art and stuff like that. It's just a cool, like, nice hardcover to get with amazing art. This art is painted, I believe, so it just looks insane. Let me just show you some stuff from this. Like, this art just is probably my favorite art I have in my collection right now. Just so nice, so realistic, and without the slipcover, you're going to see even more of how good this art is, okay? So, ready? This is drawn. Yeah, this is drawn. This is amazing. This art is fantastic. I cannot wait to get into it and just binge it in one day, because I'm probably going to binge it in one sitting, as even though if it is wordy, I don't think this is many issues. I think it's only like 5 issues, or if that, inside this volume that are actual comics. So, cannot wait to get into Marvels, and I did actually get this from one of my friends on Discord named FX. Thank you, FX, for recommending this to me. I cannot wait to get into it, and on to the next oversized hardcover that I definitely read. Now, the next thing I did pick up is going to be Hush by Jeff Loeb. This is my second favorite comic I've ever read. Hush was such an amazing run. This is the 15th anniversary deluxe edition. I really don't mind the slipcover much, but I will say, I think it is my favorite looking actual comic, as the look of it without the slipcover is just so nice. And it really fits the story really well, as it's a really nice detective-based Batman story that I definitely recommend. But I will say, I definitely recommend going into Killing Joke, Batman Who Laughs, and maybe even the Jeff Loeb run before this. But I will say, even if you don't know that, it's still great. And also, you should probably read Death in the Family Under the Red Hood to understand some stuff about later on in this, but I already got that stuff spoiled for me, and I kind of know because I've actually already watched I think it's the Under the Red Hood movie. I think that is the animated movie when I was a kid, so I kind of knew a little bit about it, but this is just an amazing comic. I definitely recommend it. Jeff Loeb really did his thing on this, and as you might hear from the name Jeff Loeb, it is made by the same person that did the Long Halloween run. This was only like 4 years after, and the art is just so good. Like, I forgot who did the art on this series, but I have to say, it's probably my favorite art I've actually read. It's so good. I was going to show a panel, but I feel like that is actually just a massive spoiler, so I'm not. I'm going to show this. Because I don't think this is a spoiler, because it's in the first, like, 5 pages. I'm trying to find one panel, but I can't really find it. Yeah, oh my god, there's a page before. I've been looking ahead. This is just fantastic. Hush is so good. Highly recommend it. Second favorite series. My first favorite Batman series so far. And on to the next oversized hardcover that I also did read. The next one is going to be an iconic story. I definitely don't think it's as good as people say it is, but I definitely think it is pretty good. A nice fast read. It only took me like 30 minutes, if that. That's going to be The Killing Joke. It was a great read. I definitely don't think it's like the best Batman story out there. I definitely think it's a great introduction to the villain Joker, and he's such an iconic villain, so seeing the introduction of Joker and seeing how he kind of starts and seeing what he does to Batman in the story, it's just great to see, like, the development Batman has, the development Joker has, and development basically everyone around this cast that is in here, like Jim Gordon, all of them have really left an impact on comics, and it's a really great comic. Alan Moore did this, and Alan Moore is just an amazing writer, so cannot say anything more. I think it's a great story. That's really all I have to say. I think I rated like an 8, 7.5 to an 8, so yeah, recommend it. It's a pretty good starter story, and yeah, that's all I have to say about The Killing Joke. The next one I actually own is another Batman story that I really do recommend, and that's A Batman Who Laughs. This story is just fantastic. I will say it doesn't technically finish in this hardcover. It does say continue in the Batman Omnibus, but I will say the look of this hardcover by itself is already amazing. I really like it, and I like the contrast of the cover having Batman, and this cover having Joker, and this back having Joker, and this one having Batman. It's just a really nice kind of a concept to have, and I really do like this series. I like how they really dealt with the development of Batman as he kind of turns somewhat into a Joker, or somewhat, I say, throughout this run. Is really interesting, and I definitely highly recommend it. If you've yet to read it, just go read it. It's pretty good, and I will say it's a pretty decent starter story, even though you really don't get half the stuff that's going on in the beginning. It's still pretty interesting, and I do definitely recommend. Now, the last hardcover I actually got in this haul, something I've yet to read, but it's a Jeff Johns run, and it just looks super interesting. And that's going to be 3 Jokers. This just looks super interesting. I don't know where it is on the read order. I really like the back cover, the slipcover, and also the slipcover, the non-slipcover cover is just amazing. Let me just show you guys this. This looks fantastic. My brother is also, my older brother, is a huge Joker fan, so he's going to be so jealous, and that's one of the also reasons I just decided to pick this up. It just looks super interesting, and if I enjoy it enough, I might pick it up for him for like a birthday or Christmas as a gift, but it's just super cool looking, and I cannot wait to actually get into it. I don't know if this is good, bad, or where I should read it, so I'm going to look that up after this video, because I don't really see many people talking about it, but yeah, that's all I have to say about 3 Jokers, and I'm going to be on my last thing that I'm going to be showing off in this haul. So, the last thing I'm going to be showing off in this haul is not a omnibus. It's not technically considered an oversized hardcover or anything like that. It's an absolute edition, and as you might be able to tell from a lot of the stuff I did pick up, is Absolute Batman Year 1. This just is super fantastic. If you can't tell, this is bigger than an omnibus. It actually barely fits on any of these shelves on a billy. It only fits on 3, the bottom, middle, and top of my billy, so I can't really fit this here. It's too big. It barely fits here. Actually, it doesn't fit there, and it barely fits here. So, this is my luck. I had to put it on my bottom shelf, but that's where the rest of my comics are going, because it can bend my billy. But these just look super nice. They're pretty old looking, as it is very early on stories of Batman. So this one is just really cool, really interesting. It does use issue paper, which I don't like. I really don't like the feel of issue paper, but that doesn't bother me. And then this is the other book. This is book 2. I think this one has the newspaper stories of Batman, and this one has just the year 1 stories, but this is super interesting to have. I'm really happy to have picked this up, and I cannot wait to get into it. It's the next thing I'm probably going to be reading. Well, not next thing, but one of the next hardcovers I'm going to be reading, because I'm going to be reading Omnibuses for now. But next hardcovers I read, it's probably going to be Marvel's, then Absolute Year One. And I cannot wait to get into this, and I love Batman, so I cannot wait to continue on with this storyline. So yeah, that's basically it for this haul. This is all the comics I did pick up in August and a little bit of September. If you did enjoy this video, go down there and hit the like button. And also, while you're down there, hit the subscribe button. It really does mean a lot. And I know I haven't made many videos recently. I just started college, so I've been trying to get into the kind of swing of things with college and working and making videos. It's been kind of difficult, but I'm going to be trying to pump out 1 to 2 videos a week now. And since I got a new camera with my new phone, it's going to be so much better quality. So I hope you guys enjoy these videos, and I hope I see you guys next time. Peace!